Waffle, and we'll be back. We're talking soccer, some other stuff, weather, I don't know.
Turkey.
Waffles.
Gobble, gobble.
Right after this. Back.
And we're back.
Trying to figure out how old our producer is. I mean, I know how old he is because I was there when he was born.
What generation does he
How
belong?
old are you?
He's 25 and a half-ish.
Good morning, Beth.
Yeah, hey, Beth.
Good
Glad to have you
morning.
there.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I guess that's Gen Z, isn't it?
Yeah,
When is I don't know when Gen Z starts.
right there.
Right there, yeah.
Right
It's
there.
right there at the
Right
end of
there.
So
millennials.
as I am an elder millennial,
He is.
he is a
Yeah.
elder Gen Z.
Peter
he's
is
a-
disclaiming. He's like, I'm in the in-between gap. I claim neither.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
That's fair. It's acceptable.
I'm old Gen X. Old Gen
Oh, grandpa.
I identify as a boomer, is what I heard you say.
I may have boomer-esque qualities. That's not true, though, because I'm very techie. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
That is
you
true.
are. You
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Okay, Ballard, you did something this weekend.
Oh,
There was a
man.
thing.
Tell
was
us.
a thing.
I want to hear all about it. I want to hear about it. I
do too.
Oh,
firsthand.
man. Well, let's just say this. It was super exciting and a massive honor. And I cannot say enough about this team, the players, the families.
Yep.
Just wonderful, wonderful people. And it shows that they put in a lot of work, you know, from their childhood up. And with us, it's just been great. So it was a fun run. Obviously, you go into the state title game undefeated.
Oh my gosh.
The semifinal game was really something. I was telling the guys this morning. I've never been that person that goes and has to throw up before playing a game.
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
players like, okay,
The
the nerves are there. I got to get this out of the way. That was the first time in my life going into that semifinal game, just as a coach, where my stomach was like just jumbled. I didn't know what to do with that energy. So it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, and you get up there and Sam Wookie, our athletic director, was awesome because, you know, he's been there before. He's done this with other teams.
Sure.
Our soccer program's never done
Yeah.
Final Four. Hutch has done it, right?
Yep,
And,
she's
you know,
done it.
other coaches have done it. He did a great job of just saying, all right, just the teams that do well up there are prepared that you're going to be out of your routine.
Yeah.
So just know that this is what's going to happen. You know,
Yes.
your warm-up's going to be different. You got all the pomp and circumstances. They're gonna walk you out there. So they don't just walk out the starters and announce their name. They walk out the coaches.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, the non-starters, the managers. Everybody gets their name rattled off. You know, but that also means you don't get the normal team talk and the normal
A lot of time to
warm-up.
sit there and think about it, get in your head.
Yeah, so just we had to kind of prepare ourselves and do those things ahead of time and be prepared. So yeah, it was intense. It was awesome the way that they do it, the way that they honor all the kids and really, you know, put them out there.
That's cool.
But yeah, that first game was it was insane.
Sounded crazy.
That team was very, very good. They expected to be in the title game. They deserved to be in the title game. game.
Yeah.
We traded punches. I think they'd been there before.
Not literally trading punches.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, but it was definitely two good teams going at it.
Yeah.
They'd been there before, so I think they started a little better than us, and
Yeah.
our guys were trying to catch up to the speed of play.
Yeah.
And it took a minute, but we were in it. They had chances. We had chances. It was 0-0 through regulation.
Yep.
It was 0-0 through first extra time, second extra time, and went to PKs. And so if you didn't watch the PKs, they went
Penalty
first.
kicks.
Yeah, sorry, penalty kicks. They went first. The percentage, I should have looked it up. Across the board in all soccer, the team that goes first, if they score first, it's like 70%. They win.
Oh my gosh.
So they won the coin toss. They're going first, and they score first.
Oh,
and I'm
you're just like
their first three penalty takers were unreal. Just
holy moly.
perfect. Brady's really good at stopping them, and he didn't have a chance. He goes, I mean, even if I knew where they were going, I wasn't saving what they did. Our first guy, Stuart McDonald, made his. Second, we sent a freshman up there.
Which I love.
Yeah, we had two freshmen take penalty kicks.
Oh my gosh.
Two freshmen start.
That's so awesome.
So Finley goes up and it's saved, and our hearts sink. So
Yeah.
now they're up 2-1, major
Yeah.
advantage now.
Yeah.
Except that the AR waves his flag, and I see it immediately, and I'm yelling at Finley as he's walking
Okay,
back.
you're going to have to help us.
I'm getting you there. He's
AR.
dejected. So AR, assistant referee,
Okay.
the one on the line, making sure the goalie stays on his line, doesn't leave early.
Okay.
The keeper left early.
Oh
which
my
means
gosh.
Finley gets a re-kick.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like trying, before he gets too upset,
Yeah.
I'm like, Finley, go back, because he's walking with his head down.
Oh.
And all of his teammates on the
goosebumps.
line are going, go back. And he kind of picks his head up like, what? It's so.
Oh my gosh.
Now think about that. Not only are you a freshman taking a penalty kick,
Jeez.
you're a freshman having to take a penalty kick again. So you know that scene of The Princess Bride? Where it's the wine and the lidocaine powder, that you
That's
think I'm
exactly
going to go.
what I'm imagining.
That's and so you have to
Am
make
I
this
kicking
decision.
at the same spot or not?
Yeah.
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 Ooh.
And so he goes back to the same spot.
Yeah.
At this time, of course, the keeper doesn't leave early. The keeper dives the other direction,
Oh.
thinking he's going to go the other way.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Holy
it was
moly.
incredible.
You thought I would kick this?
Yeah. And so we're 3-3. Their next guy sails it. And then so our fourth guy, let's see, no, they missed twice because Brady, no, so we made it. So it's a 4-3.
Yeah.
And then their guy, Brady, saves the final one for the win.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I-
How
I-
many penalty kicks do you get at the
Well, you send 5 out there.
Okay.
So it's the best of 5.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you don't have to get to 5. We didn't get to our 5th taker.
Gotcha.
Because we had already
Gotcha.
got a 2-point advantage
Okay.
at that point.
Yeah.
But if it's 5-5 at the end, you go to the 6th guy. You go to the 7th guy. You go all the way to 11 until you restart and go, or 10 rather, and go
I
all the way
can't.
through.
The only
Oh
thing
my
I can
goodness.
now. So my respect for soccer went up. But it has been going up all the time. Just FYI. But I can't
welcome.
imagine anything other that as intense and as dramatic, other than the pitcher,
Yes.
hitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is
At
it
the
going to be a
final-
walk-off home run,
Yep.
walk-off hit, that thing where
Yes.
it's mano a mano?
That's
It's insane.
so-
Well,
And the pressure on those keepers has got to just be.
it is on the kicker should make it. It's a big goal. It's a little man.
Well, yeah.
Even the big, and their keeper was huge. He was like 6'3".
What a great thing to say to people, though, to keepers, to say they should make it.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be saving this.
Yeah.
If you save it or they miss it,
Yeah.
they screwed up.
Yeah.
And so if you save it, you did something incredible. And Brady has gotten really good. He reads their body language even to the last split second.
Yeah.
It's about how they dip their shoulder. Oh, they're going this way. Their hips are swiveled. He reads it, and you got to do it in a split second.
Oh my
like
gosh.
much like a baseball player
Yeah.
with a 95 mile per hour fastball, you've got a split second to decide what you're doing.
Yeah.
He saved, Brady in the regular season saved 3 of 5 penalties.
Wow.
He saved the last 3 that he faced. So that's unheard of.
That's crazy.
So
Superman.
Superman, really.
Yep.
And I don't know if you guys saw the KY3 report, but
Yes.
they captured a ball that he went up and caught like a wide receiver on a cross. It probably looked like a routine save to somebody that doesn't know soccer, but the way that this young man caught the ball, held on to the ball, and even as he hit the ground did not spill the ball was insane. Like it was a top level play, and I'm so glad they caught it. on film. But it was a game of his life. He deserved all the plaudits that he received after that semifinal game.
That's so cool. He's
yeah.
like, we're just going to go play some Fortnite.
Yeah, it was just so good. Yeah. It was.
You guys are going to play some Fortnite.
So, yeah, great experience. Of course, then we celebrate. We go to the old spaghetti factory and get some pasta for the next day.
Yeah.
Give us time to let the boys sleep in. We got up the next morning. We watched some game film of the team we were going to play in the final. We got to see a little bit of their game the night before. But, again, everything's so regimented. You're taking photos and getting all these things done.
Yeah.
So you don't get to just sit and watch and scout.
I almost feel like the game's secondary to some extent to some of those events.
I guess I don't know what you're talking about, but
Like,
no, is the game secondary?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I misunderstood what you're saying.
Yeah, no, like all the pomp and circumstance seems to take over.
It does, because those people organizing it, they don't care about your game. They care about doing their job, which
Yeah.
is get here, get there, whatever. It in that sense, yes.
Yeah.
For us, it was primary, and we're
Yeah.
trying to keep it primary. Anyway, the final game obviously was a heartbreak. 18 minutes left, we gave up a goal. So think about this. First goal we'd given up. We didn't give up a goal in districts.
yeah.
We didn't give up a goal in the quarterfinal game. We didn't give up a goal in the semifinal game.
Yeah.
So here we are at the final, and we give up our first goal, only the 10th goal all season in 27
oh,
games.
my gosh.
Again, unheard of. 20 clean sheets, that means a shutout.
Yeah.
In 27 games. That's a record.
And
I don't see anybody breaking that record. That's
It's hard
unbelievable.
not to get deflated after that and just everything to finally come to a head.
Well, interestingly enough, when they scored, I think we played our best soccer in that next 10 minutes
Really?
after. It was like all of a sudden they realized we can play.
yeah.
And because we weren't really playing our best game in that final. And they really started moving the ball around. We had a couple chances that didn't go in.
Yeah.
Could have easily tied it up. Connor had a really good look. Connor Stewart. Stuart McDonald had a really good look, but they played really well. The way that they didn't give up, the way that they battled and tried to get back into it was really something. And then at the end, you could tell there was sadness.
Yeah.
But it was different. In past years, you see us at a loss. There's guys just laying on the floor crying.
Yeah.
But it was something different this year. It was kind of fun to know going into the game, this is your last game no matter what.
Yeah.
Because you're always surprised by it in years
Yeah.
past. Like, oh, we didn't expect to
was it,
lose. We're
yeah.
done, But now it's like we just got beat, and we got beat by a really good team.
Yep.
And we were there with them to the very end.
Yeah.
And so I think we play that game 10 times. I don't know if it's 5 and 5, but we win some of them.
Yep.
Like we were right there.
Well, the stories I like about that, I just think the character building that goes into it. And I know you guys probably do a better job as coaches than the vast majority. I'm sure a lot of coaches do a good job of
a
character
heck of a
building,
coaching
but I know
crew.
you guys do a great job of that. But
Yeah.
the character building that goes into all that kind of just reiterates how important all of extracurriculars are for a lot of the kids.
Oh, yeah.
My kids, Peter, Luke, they did band, same
Yeah.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
regimented. Growing up, and so many of the kids that don't participate in extracurriculars now, and most of them don't at this point, I think.
Yeah.
They don't get that.
Right.
School doesn't have that competitive, do your best feel to it anymore.
Yeah.
No, it
Well-
really doesn't. The schoolwork side of school doesn't seem to be pushed as competitive as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely a big part of a person's overall development. And I think these kids will never forget this moment.
Oh, no. My gosh.
It will add to their life, in
Yeah.
so many ways. They'll be able to deal with conflict and adversity.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
Let's face it, we had to walk them through some relational things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our season went 4 weeks longer, or 3.5 weeks longer than it normally goes.
Yeah.
And it was funny. There were times even we're making a playoff run, and we're having to go, all right, guys, listen, we get it. You're starting to annoy each other a little bit.
Yeah.
That's normal
Oh, yeah.
stuff. And so you got to pull somebody aside and say, hey, we got a common goal. Let's not forget
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Don't let that little thing annoy you. Let's
Yeah.
remember why we're here, and let's keep
More
working.
pressure, and you're getting more amped up,
Yeah.
and you're tired.
brings
I
those
mean,
things
it
up.
does.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
does. It makes things harder and harder.
Hey, and one thing I just have to say, I want to say thank you to the community. It was incredible to have football and baseball coach get the pep bus together.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
drive a bunch of
Yes.
kids up there.
That's awesome.
Not just kids, though. We saw adults
Yep.
drive up there that have no connection to soccer,
Yep.
probably more like you would, with no interest or knowledge of soccer.
Yeah.
And for them to be there just to support this town and this school and this team was, I really was overwhelmed by the
awesome.
support. To have a big stadium with a bunch of people in it cheering.
Yeah.
When the team we're playing is not a private school. Well, it is a private school. Sorry, 20 minutes away.
Yeah, it's right there.
And
I wondered
so
about that.
we weren't far off from
That's
their
good.
crowd, and
That's
I
awesome.
cannot say thank you enough on
That's
behalf of
awesome.
all the coaches and all the players. It just meant the world to us because we know soccer's not the most,
Well, it is now.
important thing.
It is now.
Well, right,
It is
and
now.
we've been building this for 16 years, and in the last 6, we've been state ranked, and each year we've topped it with a number of wins. I don't know that we can do that next year, but
It'd be difficult.
Yeah.
You need one more.
but we have a great team coming back. I mean, that's one of the semi.
freshmen?
Well, we have 7 freshmen.
Wow. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
4 that played in the final. The other 3 played a ton of minutes throughout the season,
go.
and
That's so awesome.
And then a good group of sophomores too. I mean, it's really we'll be back. We'll be back
That's
for sure.
exciting. That's
Very
super
cool.
exciting.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
We'll miss
next
our
year.
5 seniors. They were great leaders, but we will. Yeah, we'll be.
It always
back.
feels
awesome.
like you're never going to get them back, but there's always a new crop coming along.
Well, I mean, my boys' freshman year,
Yeah.
we were good until we had one key injury that took us out of our rhythm. We still should have been good, but it was just deflated it. But I said to my boys, this will probably be the best team you ever play on.
Mm-hmm.
Their freshman year, they were 14-7.
Mm-hmm.
Their sophomore year, we went 18-5. Their junior year, I'm getting that off. Well, it doesn't matter. Their junior year, they went 19-4,
Mm-hmm.
and then their senior year they won the first ever district and went to a
So
quarterfinal
the
game.
key takeaway there was you were wrong.
I was wrong. That's my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Is anyway they surprised me. We just keep getting better, and we built a program with expectations, a great off-season program, and we're taking kids that are club level players, and we're taking kids that don't play club.
Yeah.
And we're making something out of it.
It's so
it's just a
awesome.
great culture. It's a great team, great program, and I'm proud to assist Brett Wubinaw, one of the finest men you will ever find.
wonderful.
To coach your kids. He's just an unbelievable man, and I love serving alongside of him.
That's wonderful.
There you go.
That's awesome. I'm just so excited for you all. You've got some kudos. Emma says, awesome story, Ballard. Congrats to obviously dedicated and hardworking players. Beth says, what a season. Congratulations to you all. It's
Thank you.
exciting.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. I enjoyed the games. I've decided soccer is nothing against Coach Hutch. Volleyball stresses me out,
Yeah.
which I know soccer stresses you out. But volleyball, I go to a game and it gets my heart rate going and I am freaking out the whole time. Soccer, I can enjoy watching it. It's fun because then you have these moments of, oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of calm to me. I'm sure not to you.
Never
in the
a
middle
calm
of
moment.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've determined it's my favorite sport to watch.
Is there an element
it doesn't
to
stress me out.
to watching soccer that's a little bit like watching baseball, which is if you don't really understand the game, it seems like nothing's happening. It's kind of boring.
100%.
That's probably what's going on
And
with
again, I love baseball, and I love a 1-0 game in baseball.
Sure.
But I love the interaction. Pitcher steps off the mound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Catcher stands up.
And they're taking it.
I
taking it away
know.
from us.
It makes me so angry.
Me too.
The outfield shifts, the infield shifts,
Yes.
all these things. Like, if you know the game, you see every little bit, and every little bit becomes exciting.
I'm totally oblivious.
The
Well,
guy-
and in soccer, you have little little nuances
Yeah.
that happen. If you're up, you take a little bit longer to go pick up that ball and throw it in, to the point where maybe the ref has to say, "Hey, if you keep stalling, I'm going to give you a yellow card as a warning." But you do that, or there are ways to foul without fouling. You leave a little in on a player, and that's the dark arts of the game, just to say, I saw what you did to my teammate, and I'm giving you
Dark arts.
right. And
I like it. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you don't know the game, you don't see those little bits, but there's always something going on. You got 22 players on a pitch. There's always going to be something going on.
The speed, it's just, it blows my mind. It just blows my mind how much speed and running all of the time is going on.
And you're controlling a ball with your feet,
It's
not
nuts.
your hands.
Yes. And
It's-
the amount of head hits, I don't know what
The
they're
headers,
called.
yeah.
I need
Holy
Buzz
moly.
Bissinger, I think is his name, to write a book about soccer. He wrote Friday Night Lights about football, but he wrote 3 Nights in August. And I read that while I was in law school. And that was the book that just really opened my eyes to baseball.
Right.
Because
Okay, interesting.
it was a 3-game series. He was in the dugout with Tony La Russa.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, La Russa.
Yep.
Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals playing Dusty Baker's
Giants.
Cubs.
I need to read
Cubs,
this book.
that's right.
Cubs.
I need to read the book.
He was with the Giants too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this series with the Cubs. And I mean, he just went through all of that stuff, and what him and Dave Duncan, the pitching coach back then. I mean, They, to the extent that like this batter with this count, with these people on bases, we want the pitcher to throw this type of pitch in that spot.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what they knew.
And that's the deal. And so like we as coaching staff, we spend time, we watch film. And I think that was one of the harder parts about, we came in prepared. We'd seen 3 different games of the semifinal team.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know who you're playing in the final. And so I did watch a little bit. It could have been Excelsior Springs, who knocked us out 2 years ago in the quarterfinals, my boys' senior year. So it could have been them, or it could have been Westminster, who we played. I already knew a little bit about Excelsior. I'd seen a little bit. I watched a few minutes of Westminster, but we didn't get to scout them the same way. So earlier in the year when we played Monette and Catholic, 2 of our biggest rivals in the conference, I'd watched 3 different games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a film junkie.
Yeah.
And so I was able to say to our forward against Catholic, all right, they have 3 center backs, which is an odd formation. When the middle center back has the ball, let him have it. When it goes to the left or right, we press immediately.
Okay.
Right? And so little nuances. Well, our first goal came because to a T we did that. And so when you get to kind of study it on that level and even the little micro levels of the game, you have the advantage. Yeah. And so anyway, I love that bit.
Everybody needs a film junkie.
What's that?
Every team needs a film junkie.
Right.
Like Chris Ballard to sit there and watch the film and study that.
It's my nighttime hobby. When I'm too tired to read, I watch game film.
It's really cool. Very exciting. Very exciting for Rogersville. Good job, you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And now I need a nap. Right. So so get this. I get home at. We get off the bus at 12:45, which means I get home around 1.
Yeah.
Get to bed a little after 1. It's Sunday the next day.
I'd
just taken the weekend off for deer hunting, which in hindsight I would have turned those 2 around. But I was preaching one of my favorite passages, so I didn't care. I'm literally on the drive, on the bus, noise-canceling earbuds, writing my sermon on Friday on the way up, finishing my sermon on the way back, even at midnight. That's not my normal flow, but I was out of my normal flow. Yeah. And so, but I was so excited because we were baptizing 6 people on Sunday morning.
That's kind of a big deal.
So here in little Rogersville, Missouri, in our first service, we baptized a man from South Africa.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
cool.
Our second gathering. We baptized one of my boys' teammates from
I
Evangel
saw that post. It's really
from Brazil.
Neat. It's really neat.
So here we got this international flair. So, and I meant it when I said all the things I got to experience last weekend, nothing topped being at church on Sunday and baptizing 6 people. And you get to be as tired as I was. Yeah. And then we had lunch for all of their international teammates that came. And so I was so tired, but I'm like, I want to be here with these guys. Then I had already promised Rylan I would take him deer hunting in the afternoon. So we went out to go deer hunting. And then when we got back from deer hunting, I had my small group, my chapter group at church. And so I got home at 9.
Yeah.
I slept for 10 hours.
Yeah.
You did.
And I spent all day yesterday just like, I'm still so tired. I'm still so tired right now. You know that lull after you finish something big?
Oh, it's big. It's big. That emotional dump that comes afterwards is big.
Yeah, so if you see me this week and I look like a zombie, I am. I am. So. All right, enough about me and soccer.
Power through, and then you get to sleep it off Thursday, right?
Yes, many a naps after the turkey. Yep. So let's talk Thanksgiving.
I'm excited about Thanksgiving. I've tested a new pumpkin pie recipe because you don't bring a test recipe to Thanksgiving.
You didn't bring. You were going to bring it for us to test.
Oh crap! I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
that sucks because I have like 2 pieces right at the fridge of my house.
It's
good. It's a good recipe. I didn't even think about it, and it went well. So it's acceptable Thanksgiving pie. So I can bring it.
All right. And so what's the pie? What is it?
It's just a pumpkin, but the difference is you cook pumpkin and. The recipe called for candied yams, but I didn't have any of those. So it's a long story. But anyway, I used more pumpkin. I used fresh pumpkin that I made. And so you cook it down with like sugar and maple syrup and spices. And then you add like a custard mixture, which is heavy cream and eggs and milk to that. So that's unique. Milk.
I caught that.
Milk.
Sorry, continue.
That's fine. And you strain it through a strainer, so it gets that. Every once in a while you're eating pumpkin pie, you get some like
stringy
gritty.
Yeah.
And and it's very custard pie like which, I mean, a
Like
pumpkin
consistency
pie.
of like a flan kind of?
Yes, it's closer to that than your normal standard pumpkin pie.
Okay.
And so it's good.
There
and
you
other than
go.
that, I'm making green bean casserole.
I'd be out. I
which
hate
is
the
best.
texture of flan.
Well, there you go.
It's kind of like
That
sweet
gelatinous.
Jello.
Yeah.
It's like Jello. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
It's got a Jello-ish. It's like that's
It
not,
has a very
it's like
custardy,
vanilla Jello. It's
Yeah.
not really what I
custardy
was
texture. It's good though.
expecting.
It's good. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and I'm ready for Thanksgiving.
I got to go home and boil a big pot of turkey brine. Mm-hmm. The turkey, Dad shot the turkey this year.
Oh, nice.
Jack shot it last
job.
year. Dad shot it this year. Mom texted me yesterday. It's in the refrigerator. It's thawed, so it'll go in the 5-gallon drink cooler
Yes.
with turkey brine on it, a bunch of ice on top. Sit there overnight, and it'll go in the smoker tomorrow.
Nice.
Tomorrow night.
That's exciting.
Well, maybe Thursday morning, about
Yeah.
4 a.m. I guess maybe. I don't
So
know.
it's a wild turkey.
It's a wild turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done wild turkey now 2 years.
The brine really is the key, isn't it?
It really
On a
is.
wild
I would
turkey.
think so. Yeah.
The I didn't have a lot of high hopes for wild turkey for just the whole bird.
Yeah.
Last year,
We are talking turkey, the bird. Not,
yeah,
not the,
not the
not the
not
bourbon.
the whiskey.
Yeah.
Or bourbon, not-
I was like, what? Oh yeah.
but I just I just anticipated it was not going to be.
Right. It's going to be gamey. It's going to be
Yeah.
tough, right?
It was the best turkey we've ever had.
Yeah,
brine
I'm
is
very curious
so
about
good.
this. Yep.
So I use a lot of brines I make. I just make my own.
Yeah.
But for turkey, I buy Spiceology's turkey brine. Now I may be off this year because I couldn't find turkey brine. I found their turkey rub, which I'm assuming is probably the same thing. So I'm just going to use that. But I do my brine instead of water. I use like vegetable stock.
Okay.
So I give us a little extra
Yeah,
there.
a little
pump.
extra boost.
Yep.
Joe Thomas is excited about Thanksgiving dinner when he opens Will's Grill.
Yep. There will not be a Will's Grill. I do have inside information that I will not share.
Oh,
But not me.
not me.
That's
Not
it.
him.
Exciting.
There may be food
My s-
options coming. We'll just leave it at
Oh,
that.
fingers and toes crossed.
Yeah. A lot of them.
That's exciting.
A lot of different places. Yep. Nifty.
Love it.
Oh man, I don't know what to talk about after soccer. That's kind
That's
of dominating
big.
the news cycle. It's awesome.
Yeah, we've got another project house in Rogersville, and I'm excited about that. Closed on it yesterday, so I'm ready to bring another one back to life. It prompted my Facebook post of trying to make the world a better place. Like
I saw
it's
that.
very confusing to me how there's people out there who seem to not want to make the world a better place. It's really weird. I remember. I've got a quick "what the crap is going on in the world" moment.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay,
We
we
love
ready?
these.
Are we
Yes.
ready for
Yeah,
this?
let's go.
Okay.
We
and
need
I-
like a little stinger, an intro. We need
Like-
just these
Yeah.
segments, you
A
know,
what the
like
crap stinger.
what the crap is going on? Here's
Yeah.
the latest "what the crap," and I'm still fuming about this.
What the
okay,
crap?
what the crap? So
Pull that
Friday,
audio, and we're going to make that. We're going to make that.
Yeah, do a remix on her saying what the.
Yep. Okay.
So Friday, I'm watching. I think I was in Carline, and I was watching some Instagram reels while I was waiting, not moving, just waiting in the still car line. And one comes up making fun of Gen Zs. No offense to our non-Gen Z producer. About they apparently read Bin Laden's letter to America that he wrote.
Saw this.
And it just really changed their opinion about Bin Laden. And they've made some videos, and specifically on TikTok, about sympathizing with Bin Laden's, whatever he said in that letter. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to waste my time because I don't give a crap any word that guy ever spoke. But, he wasn't that bad of a guy. Have you heard this? These are the same people that are supporting Hamas and the whole situation.
I caught wind of it.
And I'm like fuming about it still.
Here's the thing, and this is the thing about getting older, is
Perspective?
Perspective means something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why the Bible tells us the young men should, or the old men should teach the young
Mentor
men,
the young men, yeah, that's right.
and things like that, because I get it, how if you weren't driving to work September 11th, 2001, listening to your morning DJs, Kevin Howard and Liz Delaney, and hear Kevin say something, we're getting a news report, like a plane hit a building. And you have no idea what's going on. And then a second plane hits a building, and there is a period of time when you do not know, and you think it's very, very real that this is a war.
This is it. Like, this is
it.
bad. This is really bad.
And you got little kids at home when that happens. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old when that happens.
Yep.
And you don't know. And so that perspective, when you hear people say, oh, he wasn't that bad of a guy, You didn't live that.
Here's my counter to that.
You didn't live that.
I wasn't in World War II.
Right.
Hitler was a charismatic guy because you don't get that many people to follow you unless you are a charismatic leader. There's good charismatic leaders and there's bad charismatic leaders.
Yeah,
I could read something Hitler wrote and think that's an intelligent, well-written,
makes sense.
piece that makes sense, but I know he was evil on earth. Yeah. Hell on earth, that guy.
Well, and you bring up the World War II era. I think we started by talking about different generations, but we were all influenced by people from the greatest generation.
Yeah.
And we're not far enough removed from them that we don't remember the way that they viewed our country.
Yeah.
The way that even from there to Vietnam, how things shifted, where they understood what came before them. Mm-hmm. They understood what was special about this country, and they were not afraid to sign up and protect those ideals.
Yep.
And so I think we're so far removed from that. And so if you think about
freaking soft.
This youngest generation, they have been fed this propaganda that has shaped their worldview as such that it's lacking understanding or perspective, as you put it, that we still have, because we've seen the other shoe drop. We've seen the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
And I'm encouraged to know, though, that there are some in this younger generation that are, all of a sudden the veil is being lifted. So many lies have been told, it's no longer believable, and we're seeing a shift.
Well, there's a phrase that has been bandied about, and it used to be American exceptionalism.
Right.
And that phrase meant there's something special about this country different than every other country on the planet. And that certainly was true.
Yeah.
This was when we started this country, it was an experiment. There was nothing like it anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. Governed by the people.
They all were trying to be like us.
Yeah. Everyone was trying to be like us for 200 years.
Yeah. And now we've bought into this narrative that we are to be hated for these ideals.
Yeah, and
for these values.
Yeah, but so now American exceptionalism, everybody is like,
yeah, it's a dirty word.
It's a dirty word. When realistically, it is a true word. It has always been true, and it is why America was the world leader. And I did use the past tense there, and we still are.
Well, I would say
so many years, so long.
I would say not only is it now a dirty word, it's not even true of us anymore. We've lost our way in many ways.
I agree.
Yeah,
but
not at the roots, not at the grassroots level, but
and the things that some people want to celebrate, in fact, we're celebrating. They're part of American exceptionalism when they're done correctly. And I'm thinking specifically about the multiculturalism of America. It is a huge strength because, like, we're watching this great show. It's a lot of fun. It's called Somebody Feed Phil. It's on Netflix. It's hilarious. The guy's goofy.
Funny name,
but he's been in Bangkok, Thailand. He's been in Saigon, Vietnam, and eating these foods. And one of the things I notice, and anybody that travels internationally will notice this. I think from America, it is not culturally diverse anywhere but here. You go to China, guess what? Everybody's Chinese.
Right.
You go to Vietnam, guess what? Everybody's Vietnamese.
Yeah, you go to Japan, everybody's Japanese. They intentionally, like, we're like, horrible things are said about an idea of, hey, we got a border crisis and we need to, put up a wall or thing. But
everywhere else in the world has a border.
They've done it, and they
that's what I'm always like. Really,
their culture. Now, I think, in fairness, we have to look and say, from the very beginning, we were a melting pot.
We were, yeah.
But it became something.
Yeah.
And people used to melt better too.
They melt. That's right.
They don't melt as good as they used to.
Yeah, that's well said. Quite simple, but well said.
Yeah. So I'm just, this has been picking at me since I saw it on Friday, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Nobody, like I said, leaders don't become leaders by being uninteresting, uncharismatic people. Even the worst of the worst.
Or openly evil.
Yeah. Even the worst of the worst figure out how to make people polish. So don't read some letter that somebody wrote and think crap about crap.
And
remember his motivations for writing it.
I don't even know much about that particular letter. I really don't. But it's unbelievable.
Well, when we're going to talk about the current Israel and Hamas, understand one thing. 5 different times, the United States, Israel, the UN went to the Palestinians and said, let's create your own state. We want to give you your own country. 5 different times they said, and it included all of Gaza. It included all the West Bank sometimes. 5 different times they said, we want to give you a two-state solution, which is, by the way, what all of the protesters are saying. We need to give Palestinians their own state. So two-state solution.
They tried to do that.
They have had it 5 times, and every single time they not only rejected it, they started a war.
Yeah.
Right after it.
Yeah. And it's very clearly stated in Hamas's vision statement that they want to annihilate Israel.
Yeah, the vision is not to have a Palestinian state. That's not what Hamas and Palestinians want.
They want to own all the land and to kick Israel out.
And it's not just kick Israel out. I think you and I both know they want genocide.
Yes.
It's what they really want. They don't even want, not that Israel doesn't exist, they don't want Jews to exist.
That's correct.
Ugh.
Which we wouldn't, all the wokeism out there would not tolerate for any other race. But somehow it's okay to be anti-Semite.
The whole thing just makes you wonder what on earth. And
it just shows how evil the intentions truly are.
Well, and at the end of the day, we talked about Evie Goes to Good News Club after school Thursdays, and one of the topics was that they had talked about, I think last week, was the devil, like more specific conversations about the devil, Satan, and that. And you really start thinking about this stuff, and you're like, this is just evil. Mm-hmm. I mean, and part of evil is corrupting good people's minds to believe something that is just untrue.
Make people believe something evil is good.
And it's so easy to be right and evil.
Yeah, it's real easy to be right and evil.
And act evilly. And I think we all can feel that internally, where we can go, the temptation, because I know I'm right, even if you are right, to act.
Therefore, I can do whatever I want.
To act wrongly out of your rightness. And that's not okay either, because it doesn't solve a problem.
Yeah. History on repeat.
This is
loop.
the super extreme example of what's going on in the worst of the worst in the world right now. But to me, this is applying on the day-to-day level of people not being able to work with each other, people not actively working to leave the world a better place. Working out of being selfish, working out of just their own interest, trying to not necessarily be the best, but trying to, instead of working together, being honest, it's just like it's become this, it's me against the world and I'm going to win mentality on all levels of anything from, like a real estate deal to driving, like just getting to Springfield, like you're going to drive 100 miles per hour and hit a car and kill somebody because it was so important that you got somewhere.
Because you're so important.
Because you're so important. Yeah. So anyway, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I've been fuming about it since Friday. And I mean, I was a senior in high school when 9/11 happened. You can go sit down with my buddies that went to war and talk to them about what they saw in the Middle East. And that might give you a little bit more perspective. Because when I was in school, and, I don't want to say the Middle East is a bad place. It's a different place than here with different ideology.
And it's a beautiful place
rich culture,
with
great
beautiful
food.
people, with a handful of Islamist extremists that
really
that want to
poison the punch for everybody, and they've done it for forever. And they did things like, "Oh, I'm not happy with my wife right now. I'm going to light her on fire." I mean,
keep in mind most of Iran does not hate the United States.
No, absolutely
that's interesting.
not.
You say that because it's true. When we went to Dubai and we went to the World's Fair over there. Every country has their own little buildings. And some of them were popular and some of them were not. Some were based on how cool the buildings were, and some of them were based on other things. But I didn't go. I went to a different pavilion, but my wife and a couple of other ladies went to the Iran building, and there was like nobody there. And, doing what they do, struck up a conversation with the young woman who was there, and got to the point where she said, nobody comes here to our building. And they said, and she said, does everybody hate us?
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. And I mean, the girls were very gracious, but kind of said,
your
leaders have
a little
painted a picture of you, your people.
We're really afraid of you. Yeah. I mean, even though you're a tiny little country compared to the rest of us, but little bitty snakes with fangs are scary.
Right. Yeah. But we have to remind ourselves that the people of Iran don't want that government.
And that's the thing. And it's funny, I mentioned the show earlier, Everybody Feed Phil. That's, I think, what you see when you watch shows like that, when you go to other countries. Man, it's the 1/100,000th of 1% of the people that are world leaders that really care. Yeah. And I think the rest of us, to some, I mean, My Bible tells me I know it's not true,
Mm-hmm.
but you really get the sense that most of us could probably get along.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
The intentions are for us to all
Yeah.
get along
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we were all
Yeah.
banded by the one.
The
who
one.
could
I just-
make us
And it'll be that way
get along.
someday.
It will be.
I think the evil is very clear over there right now. I think the evil is a little bit murkier here in the U.S. right now because I think what's happening is we are slowly pitting everybody against each other.
Well, and that's where I would say I'm thankful for my boys' experience being in college with internationals who
Yeah.
give them perspective that, I mean, they laugh at us. I mean, these internationals are saying, you Americans are so messed up in your thinking. Like, nobody else thinks this way, but you guys, and this whole woke ideology stuff is
It's crazy.
is a movement of ridiculousness that is sweeping through, and the rest of the world's laughing at us.
Yep. And egging it on.
Yeah, they are egging
to
it
some
on,
extent.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's definitely egging it on. I mean, when somebody's got a shiny toy, somebody's going to
Yes,
come in and try to
Beth,
steal it.
indeed.
So anyway, be thankful this Thanksgiving for the people out there that are working hard every day to make the world a better place. Encourage them and, do what you can, do your part because small things make big waves. Huge
Well,
things.
just do yourself a favor and read some of the Puritans. Not that they had it right in every way, but the idea of practicing gratitude more than just practicing a day to get together with family and eat, but literally stop and practice gratitude on that day so that you can practice gratitude every day of your life. That is a great discipline that the Puritans gave us that we've ignored, we've forgotten.
We don't,
Be grateful.
we don't recognize how fragile life is.
Yeah.
We don't- I mean, everything we got, it's everything.
And have some grace for the good
strain.
people who are trying their best. They make mistakes. Everybody does. And have some grace for them. Don't pounce on them.
Yep.
We say don't judge anybody by their worst moment.
Yeah,
because we've all got a
absolutely.
worst moment.
We've all got a worst
You don't want to be
moment.
characterized by that.
We love you
Lord.
too, Emma.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. It's 8:30.
Happy
And,
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We will be back next week with more Morning Waffle.